Why did the fuel prices cross the road?
You mean why did they jump 50 cents in one day? Well, that's because there was a fire in a Texas chemical tank farm.
Oh, bummers. Well, you know what? I've got some things that aren't working, and I think I need to talk about them.
Uh-oh. This is going to be one of those shows where I don't get to talk much.
Probably. But okay, I'll let you do the genuine positivity message.
Ooh, cool. Then I'll solve a 35-year-old mystery in France.
You'll solve the mystery in France?
Yes, I will.
Welcome to What Happened in the World Today. My name is Steve, and that is Scott. And he's not going to talk at all this show. I'm going to do all the talking. And we're going to talk about what we've noticed is going on in the world today, because this is a tale of how bad life decisions led to a YouTube show. Okay, now you can talk. Are you going to cough too?
No.
Oh, okay. So
You're probably going to talk.
Yeah, now you're like Sam Wills.
Oh, wait. If I can't talk, maybe I could.
That's not my birthday. Whose birthday is it?
Well, it's somebody's birthday. There's always somebody's birthday.
Cool. You know who Sam Wills is, right? You heard the guy Tape Face?
No.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, no. Tape Face is hilarious. He's awesome. Great guy, super witty. Was on America's Got Talent. He's the guy with the tape over his mouth. He does his entire show with the tape over his mouth, never talks, and does a great job. And keeps you entertained for the full 90 minutes.
Well, it's kind of like half of a Penn and Teller show.
Yeah, but that's only half.
Exactly.
Teller actually talks.
So,
did I tell you I went and saw the taping of Penn and Teller Full?
Yes, you put it on our show.
And this show is Thursday, but you stopped putting the dates. So it is Thursday the 4th. So I am hoping that everybody would have watched on the CW on April Fool's, Penn and Teller April Fool Us.
Okay.
They had an April Fool.
Funny.
Yep, and I was in the audience for the taping of the lead-ins. Just the lead-ins, though. Pretty good premise on the show. Is this a spoiler alert if I tell you what they did?
Yeah, spoiler. Wait. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Steve is going to do a spoiler. So, spoiler.
Well, the show's already aired, but if you haven't seen it, you got to go back and watch it.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
What they did is they took Chris Hardwick, who had become quasi-famous. And
like us?
No, well, yeah, we're just as famous as Chris Hardwick. So they took him and they told him that they made him to be a magician.
Okay.
All right. So they trained him to do these tricks, and they gave him this watch. And this watch can predict cards if you give them to people, and it can predict the cards, so he'll know what card he gave him and all that stuff. But they didn't really train him to be a magician.
Right.
What they did was they brought old magicians from the Fool Us show, and they brought him out on Las Vegas Boulevard. Chris Hardwick said, now go out and do a trick to somebody. Well, the person who walked up to him was an actual magician.
Right.
And the magician actually did the trick, not Chris Hardwick. Chris Hardwick, I'm so amazing. I'm so good. One of my buddies, Mike Hammer's on the show. Vinny Grasso. Vinny Grasso actually fooled Penn and Teller twice. Is on the show, so it's pretty funny. So if you didn't get a chance to see it on April Fool's Day on Monday, go back and watch Penn and Teller April Fool show.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool. It's getting hot out here, so it's getting dry. It's getting dry in here.
So take off all your clothes.
No, I won't.
Thank you.
Crazy, but another big story. What?
Something else was hot, right?
Yeah, exactly. Another big story that happened over this last week was a huge fire at the Texas Petrochemical Plant.
Yeah, Petrochemical.
Yeah,
storage.
So the reason I found out about this story is everybody who I know in the Midwest, including Scott's like, oh, why are our fuel prices so high? Our fuel prices are higher
40 cents a gallon in 2 weeks. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, okay, so people don't realize this, but fuel is not stored up ahead of time. It is being constantly made and used. I mean, it costs a lot of money to really store all the fuel.
Some does get stored because I used to work for a company, but it's not as much as people think, except for the government's oil reserves, which is a whole different thing.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. But it's kind of like electricity. It's kind of a commodity. It's
being made, it's getting used, and they make more as is needed.
Yeah. So when a crisis, tragedy, a fire, where a plant is down happen. Right. Well, what word am I trying to say? When something happens, this happens.
Yes.
I don't know.
You said it succinctly. That's okay.
Okay, if you say so. But the petrochemical plant caught on fire, and they put it out, and then it went back on fire again. Yeah, it went back on fire again. Yeah. But now all the lawsuits are starting.
Yes.
So welcome to Litigious USA, where we sue for everything. Nobody's responsible for anything. It's always somebody else's fault.
Hey, wait a minute. Since gas went up, maybe I should sue for my higher gas prices.
You should.
Yep, exactly.
Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to sue the company also because of them being down. The gas prices jumped up 50 cents a gallon.
Well, 40 cents, but who's counting?
We could sue them also.
Right.
I mean, the residents are seeking damages for lost wages.
Yeah, exactly.
What else are they suing for? I mean, the schools were closed. What else happened?
Difficulty of being able to get to locations and stuff because the roads were all tied up. With
the commercial waterways will be reopened, so commercial waterways were closed.
Oh, yeah, the fishermen are going to be doing stuff too because the oil that made it into the chemicals that leached.
Yeah, it wasn't oil, it was chemicals.
Right, the chemicals. Well, they're oil-based chemicals.
Yeah, and gasoline and other materials swept in nearby waters. So elevated levels of benzene in the air.
Which is a carcinogen.
So older people living in the area to remain indoors. Man. Oh, I didn't even hear this. The next day, a dike failed adjacent to the tank farm, allowing the flammable chemicals to seep into nearby bayous and into the shipping canal.
Oh, of course it did.
Wow. So the tanks at ITC contain components of gasoline and materials used in nail polish remover, glues, and paint thinner. Great.
Yep. And I can't wait till they get the lawsuits for all the huffers that are going to be accidentally singed when they're huffing the paint fumes.
Right. Exactly. So the Harris County Commissioners gave approvals for the county to sue ITC.
Wow. Yeah.
Man. Residents are asking for at least $1 million in damages, accusing ITC of negligence. They allege they suffered a variety of illnesses due to the fire and release of chemicals in the air, including bronchitis, pneumonia, and itchy burning eyes. I'm suing for the itchy burning eyes.
Me too. Wait. Okay, me too.
Yeah, not at all. So, wow, that's crazy. So, yeah, that's going to be fun.
Made a whole bunch of things not work anymore.
Intercontinental Terminals Company. Crazy. Now it's Friday, March 22nd. Whew. So cool. Well, speaking of stuff that doesn't work, I've gone through a series of things that doesn't work, that don't work, that didn't work.
Well, Steve, once you're over 50, that happens frequently for men.
And you just take the little blue pill.
That's right.
No, I don't need a little blue pill. That still works fine. But stuff that didn't work. So my good car.
The new one?
Car, well, not the new one, but my good car, the newest one we own, went out of warranty. And we are still paying on that. So we started looking up on stuff now that it's out of warranty. And when you buy a car, it's supposed to be like really good. And you check, and it's a car that's been part of a line for a while. So you look at the history of that line, that they've been making this car for a while. You never want to buy a car the first year that they make major changes to a model, because that's, then in 2 or 3 years, you find out all the things that they did cause problems with the vehicle.
Right. Well, which we'll have with Susie's new car.
What's that?
That's what we're going to run into with Susie's car.
Oh, because they just changed all the...
Oh, my God. It's beautiful, though. It's a huge change.
Yeah. Well, the car we bought was a Ford Taurus, and Taurus has been around forever. They're fleet cars. They're pretty much bulletproof. Well, I didn't use them. What's that?
That's why the cops use them.
Yeah. So we bought it, but it's out of warranty, right? So now we got to make the decision. Do we continue on and play that game of, okay, what are they going to start finding goes wrong with these cars? Because the warranties are perfect, right? The reason the warranties are there is because you know that once the warranty's over, that's when stuff's going to start breaking. It never breaks before the warranty's over. They always know.
Never.
They always know. Yeah, they know that a majority of stuff's going to happen. So we're like, all right, let's go get rid of this car before it does something and get a car back under warranty. And everybody said, get a Toyota or a Honda. So we went out and got a Toyota. So I got a Toyota Corolla. It's back under warranty. It's under warranty for 100,000 miles in 4 more years. And my car payments are lower. My insurance is lower. And my cost to register is lower. So win-win. I mean, I'm paying. I have car payments again, which are going to be longer. I only have like 2 more years of car payments on the other car. Now I've got 5 years car payments on this car, but oh well. So we'll see what that is. So that's one thing that, could possibly not work. However, at the new house, our neighbors are not doing a very good job of keeping the grass down, and we don't have grass here.
I was going to say, yeah.
We have rocks. We have rocks and a few bushes. I don't know why they make us put bushes and trees around the houses. That's just stupid. We're in the desert. The HOA should eliminate all that. We talked about that in an earlier show.
Yes.
About how that came over from England and gardens and stuff like that, and how we're actually wrecking the environment by putting that stuff in. But we have 1, 2 bushes and 3 trees. That's it. But the neighbors didn't do a good job of keeping the weeds and the...
Isn't it amazing? Even in the desert, the weeds can grow.
Yeah, the weeds are growing and the grass is growing up through the rocks. So I went around asking everyone, what I should get. And I've gotten recommendations from Roundup. Roundup seems to be the best.
Yes.
I think Roundup is the one that everybody's like, oh, you're killing the environment. So I went to the store and I got suckered in. I saw Roundup was like $28 for a bottle or $23 for a bottle.
Yeah, it's a stupid amount of money.
So then I saw Spectracide. And Spectracide had a special, buy one, get a refill free. So you buy the sprayer and it was only like $18?
Yes.
And then the refill was free. I'm like, oh, I'm getting that. So I go out there last weekend and I spray and I spray and I spray and I do a good job, right? I spray everything. And the grass wasn't up too high. Well, guess what comes in the mail? A letter from the HOA.
Really?
You have weeds and grass in your yard. You have 14 days to get rid of them. So I go look and I'm like, well, wait a minute. The grass is actually higher now, and I should have taken a picture so I could put it up in the background. That's what I was going to go do, and I forgot to. But yeah, so the grass has actually started growing now. Now it's like it's huge. I sprayed it, and it's huge. So I go look at the bottle, and it says starts working in as little as 3 hours. Well, this was a week later. So I'm like, okay, not working at all.
Right.
So then I go out and I buy a hula hoe. You know what a hula hoe is?
I certainly do.
So I get the hula hoe, and it works really good through the rocks. So I hula hoed all my rocks. What a pain. But I did that, so it's all down. And then I took my refill of Spectracide, and I sprayed it all over, and we'll see what happens. And if it comes back, if it starts to grow back, then since I've used it all up finally, I will go buy the Roundup and try that stuff next.
Right. Now, just so you know, because of the problems they had with the original chemicals in those things that used to work in as little as 3 hours for real, now it takes a week before the stuff starts to die, but it does die.
Well, it didn't on mine. Well, it was a week, and it was actually growing bigger. It was like I put fertilizer on it. Like maybe they put the wrong chemical in there. They put the fertilizer in there to regrow it.
Nitrogen in here. Ooh.
Or the stuff is immune to it.
Yeah.
And it's growing like crazy. But yeah, so that sucked. So that was a fun 3 hours. So I'm sore. And then I bought a nightlight, right? So bought a nightlight, bought a cool LED nightlight.
I love those.
Yeah, but I can't figure out how to change the color. So I might have a broken one of those. So it has like all the different colors you can change. You can go white, red. Well, mine only goes white and red. I'm like, how do I get to the green? So I probably will have to read the instructions, but
no, don't do that. Don't ever read instructions. We're men.
There's a little button that you should push it, but I could be just stupid and not know what I'm doing, which is a possibility. So those are all the things for me that didn't work over the week. So how about you?
Everything actually worked for me this weekend. We had a decent weekend. We went out and saw another movie.
Oh, you saw a movie? What movie?
We saw Captain Marvel.
Oh, you did see Captain Marvel?
Yes.
Shazam! No, Captain Marvel.
No, didn't see that one. We were thinking about it, but we wanted to see Captain Marvel because Avengers Endgame's coming out.
And how was she?
Oh, it was well done. Very well. And the cool thing is the technology they used to bring Fury and Agent Coulson back to 1989 with their looks. This movie's filmed in 1989, or you know what I mean.
Right. Second.
What was that?
Set in 1989.
Yes, that's it. Set in 1989. So they actually made them both look like they did back in 1989, using obviously movie magic.
Or computers.
That's movie magic.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. We'll talk about computers in a different show. Trust me.
Oh, you got one of those coming up?
I've got a whole show based on computers.
Ah, okay. I see it. All right. Cool. So should we do our...
Yeah, we're going to have to because I think we're going to go burning through time like mad.
Yeah, we've got about 5 minutes left. So should we skip the stuff that works and what I'm getting new and go on to our genuine positivity message and our beach story?
Yeah, methinks that's probably not a bad idea.
All right. So we'll continue this in a future show, which will work. I'm going to put it down here. Cool.
All right. At my chiropractor's office, they have this plaque on the wall that is called The Starfish Story. And I finally found out who wrote it. It's Lauren Isley. I didn't do enough research on her, but I did find the whole story. And instead of just a little 2-line thing, it's a little story, but it's a nice, positive story. Are you ready?
I thought you were going to freeze up your screen and make it your background and all that stuff.
Oh, that's right. I was supposed to do my screen. Stupid me.
Well, you weren't supposed to, but you said you were going to.
I was a gonna. So
there's no supposed to do that.
Yeah.
You just wanted to because one of the people like, well, we don't want to watch you on YouTube because it's just your head's there. And
that's
don't
right.
put enough visuals up for us to do that.
Oh, look, I forgot, though. You can't see the whole thing because it's too big. Oh, well.
Like your head?
Well, that too. Anyway, the starfish story. One day, a man is walking along the beach, and he noticed a boy picking up and gently throwing things into the ocean. Approaching the boy, he asked, "Young man, what are you doing?" The boy replied, "Throwing starfish back into the ocean. The surf is up and the tide is going out, and if I don't throw them back, they'll die." The man laughed to himself and said, "Do you realize there are miles and miles of beach and hundreds of starfish? You can't make any difference." After listening politely, the boy bent down, picked up another starfish, and threw it in the surf. Then smiling at the man, he said, "I made a difference to that one."
That's it. I love that one.
It is so true, too, because, you know, we cannot save the world. We can't. But we could do little things. And if everybody did little things, think of how much better it would be.
Well, it's the reason I love It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
That one act that you do, you don't know how that affects so many other people that person affects, and the person after that, and the person after that.
So true.
You know, speaking of affecting things into the future, I can't believe this has been going on for 35 years in France.
I know. It's
35 years, folks. So since the 1980s, bright orange parts of novelty Garfield phones have been steadily washing up on the coast of Brittany in France.
Yes.
Yeah. So here's the part. Okay. Nobody knew where the Garfield phones were coming from, and locals had no choice but to continue collecting the pieces of the famous cat for 35 years.
It's amazing.
Okay, I know where they were coming from. Some container ship went down with these phones in it.
That's correct.
And they were coming up.
Right.
Even I know that. Duh. But they're like, oh my God, don't know where it comes from. Maybe it was just worded poorly in the story. But I mean, seriously. We all know that there's a ship that went down, there's a container that's leaking, and these things are coming up because they're plastic, okay?
Well, they do say that they suspected that, but they were never able to find it.
It doesn't say that. I read it. I read it exactly how it's written.
Residents had long suspected the phones came from a shipping container, but had never been able to find it.
Yes, but let me read the story. Okay. Nobody knew where the Garfield phones were coming from, and locals had no choice but to continue collecting the phones of the famous cat for 35 years. According to the BBC, the mystery was finally solved this week when a lost ship container filled with Garfield phones in a more complete condition than any found them before. It was discovered in a secluded sea cave, accessible only during low tide.
How cool is that?
That's how it's written. Yeah. If you go on, you go, yeah, they've suspected that. But I mean, you lead with that. You don't go, oh my God. Nobody knows where these are coming from. It's a miracle.
No, it's not a miracle. It's the aliens. They keep trying to steal the phones, but they can't get them out of the atmosphere.
Right. So then here's the other funny part. So, what is that guy's name? Andrew Garfield? No, not our
Andrew.
Andrew Garfield. No, Andrew Garfield. You know who Andrew Garfield is, right? Wasn't
he the president?
No. Not that. Seriously?
Not President Garfield?
Andrew Russell Garfield is a British American actor, served for 7 accolades, including a Tony Award, been nominated for several Academy Awards and British Film Academy Awards. He was Spider-Man, yes?
Spider-Man,
Hacksaw Ridge, Spider-Man, Social Network, Breathe. Now you know what I'm talking about? Spider-Man?
Yes.
So instead of going with the voice of the person who did Garfield, they took a picture of Andrew Garfield with a phone, a regular phone.
I see that, yeah.
This is the only Garfield phone that Andrew Garfield will admit to having. I'm like, really?
Yeah. Hey, just like us, they're trying to do some kind of a weird shock value to get more viewers. That's all.
But it's at the end of the story. Unless they put it in the tags. Did they put it behind the tags?
Could be. But I must admit, I remember seeing these phones back in the 80s, and they were kind of cool. Because when the phone rang, his eyeballs would go up, open, up, and closed.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I mean, you could have done any one of these people. Could have, Scott Beach, Lorendo Music, Bill Murray, Frank Welker. I mean, Frank Welker is the President Garfield. I mean, you could have done Bill Murray. You could have got the picture of Bill Murray. And Bill Murray says this is the only, it would have been good. It would have been great. They could have, Bill Murray admits to this is the only Garfield phone he does. Who are you going to call? Right? That would have been funny.
Yes, I agree.
Right? Come on. See? Yeah, they blew it. All right. So
it's kind of like the Golden Knights blew it by not using us. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, Golden Knights blew it last night. Not last night, but I mean, they're in the playoffs, but yeah. If they'll do better in the playoffs than what they're doing through the end of the season, I'll tell you that's for darn sure. All right, and then the last one is our phrase origin story, yes?
It is. Rack and ruin.
Now, I've never heard this expression. Rack and ruin?
It's something that I'm familiar with because a lot of the movies I watch, especially the war movies, that it gets used a lot.
Really? Does it?
Yeah. Go figure. It means complete destruction.
Right, I get the meaning, but like, what have you seen it moved in or used in?
I can't remember which movies off the top of my head, but after a big bombing of a town or whatever, the guy would say, "Man, rack and ruin," or some variant thereof.
Wow. Okay.
But it might be thought that the rack in this phrase refers to the medieval torture device, as rack one's brains actually is. This rack, however, is a variant of the now defunct word, still rack, which is spelled with a W.
W-R-A-K, yeah.
More usually known to us now as wreck.
Okay.
Back in the old days, that a team going to wreck was the forerunner of Rackaroon, used as early as 1548 in a sermon by Ephraim Udall. Woohoo! The flock goeth to wreck in
So the flock goeth to wreck and literally perished. Wow. Okay, so this has a religious thing. Huh. So it's pretty much it. So Henry Bull moved to the phrase to rack and ruin in his translations of Luther's commentary upon the 15 Psalms, 1577. So this has religious. Wow. So history of the corpse, Christie College.
The things you can learn by watching our show. Woo!
The things you can learn by reading religious material. So with that, I want to say thank you for watching, and please don't go to Rack and Ruin. I could have said that about all that stuff that didn't work for me.
That's true. That's true. And if you feel our show is not bad, like
this stuff is wrecked and ruined.
And of course, you'd like to help Steve with all his broken things.
Yeah, give me suggestions of what works. You can go to whathappened.world. We're walking all over each other this show.
Yep.
You're just quitting. So go to whathappened.world down there. You can message us there. You can connect with all our social media. Go find Fun Guy the Entertainer Cooks for you. Check us out on iTunes and Google Play. I hope you guys are enjoying the podcast version of this. We think it lends itself really well to a nice escape for you. So with that, I want you to live every day, and we'll see you at the next show.
Be genuinely positive, live and love life, and have a good one.
Be crazy, but you still amaze me.